Welcome everyone back for another special holiday edition of Unscripted, where we bring people with Parkinson's and caregivers together for PD awareness. And as my family here knows, I'll do anything for you to all smile listening in. And those of you joining me today, this is Santa George, just in for the holidays, and wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and every other holiday these days. And also the most important, why we're here, is a Happy New Year. I wanted to be here with Esther, Mark, and Melissa today to really kind of just thank them and tell them how much I love them. And you all touched my life in 2024, and so excited for the future together for advocacy. But I do feel every day we do this, we come closer to a cure because we gain awareness, and that's the goal. It's just we don't want really anything except a cure for this, and I hope in 2026 that we can hopefully have that. And if not, I'll still be fighting until the day comes through everyone's doorsteps throughout the world that we have a cure. So I wanted to welcome everyone. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and just send it to Mark or anyone else out there with me. Just talk about, 2024 wrap up and what you want to expect or hope for in 2025.
Well, thanks, George. I really appreciate that. And
Santa George, please. Thank you.
What did I say?
You said George.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Santa. What was I thinking? No, I appreciate it, and Happy New Year to you all. This is fun. This group here is obviously very near and dear to my heart, and you guys are a lot of fun. So this is a great way to exit the year and bring in the new year. So that's awesome. And it's funny looking back at 2024. There's a couple of things that I noticed about my personal life that I wanted to look at for 2025. And since I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's, I've focused on what I called the big three, the Holy Trinity, which is diet, exercise, and rest. Okay. And in 2024, I did much better with exercise. As many know, I was, avid pickleball this year, did great with the pickleball, got very, very active and lost some good weight, was really good about that. And I started resting better, but my diet really wasn't what I wanted it to be, right? And so this year I want to focus this year on those three: diet, exercise, and rest. And I've added a fourth. And actually, my good friend, my BFF, Nikki, has created me a graphic to help me with that. It's going to be diet, exercise, rest, and community. Those are going to be my four focuses this year, because another thing that I found myself doing this year was sliding away from community a little bit and isolating myself more than I really wanted to or should. And so for 2024, those were the things I observed. So 2025 is my focus, my interest in focusing on diet, exercise, rest, and community, because I need y'all. I need everyone. And I just can't I just can't say that enough. And I tend to lose sight of that. And that's why I've got the little graphic from Nikki. It's going to be the background of my laptop, just to remind me, because I need a lot of reminders. I have sticky notes. You guys can't see my desk. I have sticky notes all over the place, and I need reminders. I'm like, I feel like the mad scientist on the Disney movie, whatever. But anyway, so that's what I'm looking at. 2024 has been good. It's been fun. A lot of good things happened, but I'm working on personal self-improvement, and that's where I'm going into 2025. So there you go. Who wants to go next? Okay.
That's awesome.
Go for it. It's all you.
No, you can.
I'm like, I don't know. It's like this year has been a difficult year, so I'm glad to see it end. I'm going into DBS surgery on the 9th, so we're setting up for that, which is like, I was totally chill with it for a good while, but now that the reality is here, and now we're starting to, like tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment to do my pre-op stuff and blood tests, EKG, stuff like that. And now that it's becoming real, I'm just like kind of gobsmacked by it. But that's a good word. But So, focusing on next year, it's really about recovery, comeback, taking no nonsense from Parkinson's, and just doing what's best for oneself with, while living our best lives with PD. That's what's really I can do. And, and trying to sell books. 'Cause- So I sold 21. So thank you,
Yay.
21 people. Well, thank you to the 17 people and my dad who bought 5. So that's 22. My dad bought 4 actually. But yeah, so that's pretty awesome. And we got a dog a couple days ago. So another hopefully people are knocking on my door. Another little happy face to the family. So there's good things in it, good things and not so good things. But I think 2024 is gonna be 2025 is gonna be much better. And so will my brain.
Yes, I'm so excited for your surgery. And I know it's really scary, but I mean, you have to take your own advice. And, I told you I don't think it's a secret to anybody that this has been a shit show of a year for me, in a lot of different ways. But your book is, I literally got it in the mail and I had it laying next to me, on the bed when I was struggling the other night. Wait, and just like reading it, and it's just like such a great tool, I think, for all of us, not just with Parkinson's, but really anybody,
Yeah.
because the format of it is like short essays. And I don't know for the rest of you guys, but I feel like I have ADHD since I got Parkinson's. Like I just do not have the attention span to read the way that I used to, and so it's like it's just the perfect size and length of those things. It reminds me of like Chicken Soup for the Soul,
Yeah.
like that kind of format of a book, which we don't get enough of, but we benefit from. And it's like your message of hope and your message of positivity and just, self awareness and drawing into our strengths is something I've been tapping into so much more because, we can't really depend on the consistency and external factors that we used to have before this disease, Um, so that consistency I have to bring from myself. I have to try and, draw from it myself. And so I appreciate that so much. Everybody should buy it. It's it should be required reading and just again like keep it next to you and just at all times. It's like a rescue inhaler for my soul.
I think that there was so much intention put into it, because I wanted everything to be short and concise for that same reason. Because like I don't have the brain space to read a long passage, and then I wanted the book to be small so that we could hold it. I didn't want it to be a lot of pages. I could have made it bigger. I mean, I write and write and write and write. It's like that fugue state going on, and I just the 3 a.m. meanderings and stuff like that. But I wanted to keep it short and kind of concise so that and I wanted it to be paperback so that you can dog ear it, you can write in it, you can copy it if you want to, you can, so that if there's any kind of inspiration to be found from it. So I wrote this book for the community. This is all stuff that I've written on social media and stuff like that. And not everybody reads that because we don't all have that kind of time, you see a social media post and it's long and you're like, oh geez, do I really want to invest the time? It's that instant gratification mindset is there, and it doesn't always happen. But I actually had somebody tell me, a PR person tell me, oh, you use all 2,200 characters on an Instagram caption, nobody's gonna read that. And it was actually Eric from Grace Strong that said, but that's the funny thing, they do. It's people do read her captions, and he's like, you don't always have the time, but you save it for later. So this is kind of like a save it for later thing that you can bring with you, and that's why when my dad bought so many, because he liked it so much that he went to his ex-girlfriend. She's sad that they broke up, so he's like, here's my daughter's book. and I give it to my grandma. My aunt bought one, so it's really sweet. But the feedback, I'm so grateful because the feedback has been that like it's been very helpful, and that's what I wanted. I wrote the book for the community so that we can all have something to boost us up because it's not always there inside the brain. Like it's just we can't always get there. There's not enough dopamine to be our own cheerleaders, so we gotta cheer each other on. So it's for.
Well, everyone listening, I hope you're also thinking about, the good and only the better that's going to come next year. Maybe everyone could also talk about the future and what you're looking forward to. I know I'm hoping to get healthy myself so I can meet all three of you and everyone listening at World Parkinson Congress, Arizona 2026. It's amazing how it does come so quickly, even though it seems like far away. I also hope we're going to be at the Unity Walk in New York, Michael J. Fox, also the IQ event. And I was wanted to go to Disney next week to having the marathon. Just we would have walked, but unfortunately, I'm having another procedure, so I won't. But everyone out there, and two of us out of the four for now. But everyone out there, we do this, for all of you, and just to make everyone smile. Right now, I can't breathe, and my glasses are shading up. I'm fogging up. I can't see anything. But anything I could do to get everyone to smile a little bit. And just for the holiday, because these are tough times. Unfortunately for me, 1/1/2020, my mother passed due to this disease, and that's only been 5 years. Sometimes it feels like it's eternity, and sometimes it feels like yesterday. But the last year was the roughest, and that's the one, unfortunately, that kind of I remember more than all the many, many more years that were better. Just seeing her go through that was not something that I want anyone to. Of course, everyone's journey is different. Doesn't mean any of that will happen to anyone else here or listening. But I think the thing that drives me in some nights not to sleep, because I'm speaking to the three beautiful people here all night, is really, that we need to end this disease. And I just hope, I know we made some good advances, but we need everyone out there to donate, to just post. I mean, it's incredible. I think I post too much, but
Yeah.
it takes maybe like a second of your day, everyone listening, just to kind of post. And I recommend to try to post, and I don't know if target's a word, but people who, don't have Parkinson, because I still think if we can get everyone in the world to understand this is a disease that needs to end now and urgent, that we will. I wrote a little blog. It probably won't be out for a while. Some nights I don't sleep thinking about all of you, and I just write and write also. And blogs are good because it's one topic, move on. But then I spent an hour last night on the media and how I really wish they would get more involved. We might have seen a little bit more action in the end of the year due to the national plan and some celebrities, but it's not enough. I've written 15 letters to 15 big time, agencies and didn't get responses. So I sent them again and again, and I'll keep doing it. But I just wish they would get involved because it's, you have to read my breakdown, and you all have seen of what an actual newscast is at your own local TV. Could be a half-hour show, 15 minutes is advertisement, 10 is might be about violence, and then the last 5 is sports. So, I think they need to make some more time for this cause and this topic. So I do hope next year we have much more, not just from the North Pole, but from all over the world to help fight this disease. Because I do think, and I'm grateful every day for the three of you and everyone listening, because if it wasn't for all of you, I don't think I would keep doing this. And also that you've opened your arms to me, just means the world. And I thank you all for last year, for the year before that, and today, and for the future.
Thank you, George.
So maybe we could end today, because it was just everyone getting together, really big with the new year. I love it. I couldn't find our Santa ran out of all the noisemakers for New Year's. But before we all kind of head out our own ways, and everyone listening, until we meet again, I always say next year, which is only a few days, maybe we could just, talk about what you hope for the future. And everyone listening, please write us in the comments, write everybody here. Melissa's, everyone here is always really available on our social media, Mark in the Park, shaking in my boots, and it's Mel, and you could find me at Together for Sharm. But I really would love to also hear from everyone watching and sharing this, what you're expecting and hoping for 2025. But let's maybe one last time for the final episode of Unscripted. It's been an honor to serve with all three of you, and just excited. I love the new, move we did for hit all the holidays, because holidays sometimes are the days I know I feel alone and my mother's not with me, but when I'm with you three and everyone listening, I smile myself, and after I get the stuff off, I can't breathe. I'll be, laughing, and I'll do anything, as you know, for awareness. So let's try to wrap up by going through the room maybe one more time. And what are your wishes for the new year?
Unity.
I think Mark's muted.
Yeah, I think my wish for this year is that everybody comes together. Even though we're so strong and different, and part of our strength is our differences and our own little areas of interest and expertise and experience. I feel like there's a lot of power in togetherness.
Yes.
I was I don't know if you guys have seen that Mufasa movie that just came out.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a funny story. I wanted to take my son and his friend to see the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but when I was trying to buy the tickets on Fandango, I hit the wrong button because my hand was shaking. And so I bought tickets to Mufasa instead. And I think my kids just wanted to get out of the house because I was like, are you guys okay with Mufasa? They're like, yeah, we don't really care. Like, let's just go. So we went, and there was a message in that movie about and a song talking about if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And that was something that I had heard earlier in the year in a patient advocacy class I took online. And it just really resonated that to me. It's like, I don't know if we're getting any place faster right now, but I do feel like we can get further together and supporting each other. I have not been as good at it as I should have. And so a lot of the things I talk about are as much a message to myself as the community. But I needed that reminder too, because we do, I'm trying to live in the moment, but always having an eye towards the goals for the future. And our community, I think, is so much bigger and stronger than we give ourselves credit for. But I also think that we're too nice in a lot of ways. And we're not going to get anything that we don't ask for. And I've been very fortunate in my advocacy that a lot of the things that once I finally got the courage to ask for, like I did get them. I feel like the universe listens to you sometimes, but it can't read your mind, you know? And so we have to put those asks out there. And because what do we have to lose? I mean, that's kind of also the beauty of me turning 50 tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Oh my gosh, it is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow the 30th. That's 30th, right?
Yeah. And so I have zero F's to give about anything anymore. Like I am fully entrenched in the second half of my life. And so, yeah, I mean, what do we have to lose? Like, let's just do it. Like, let's just ask for stuff and demand for stuff. And the worst things people can say is no. And I always say I'm a yes person in a no world. So that's my real hope and excitement for 2025.
I wanted to say Reindeer just flew in to say happy birthday. The Bella the reindeer.
Oh,
I'd bring my dog in, but he'd eat my computer. So
yeah, this dog that we got, he's a little special.
you think? Mine's literally insane.
That's ours too, and he's like a blue dog, like a Australian cattle dog.
Yeah.
Mix, and he just likes to just pretty much chew on my bones.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
Yeah.
that's my femur. Like, I need that. Can we please not?
We have the same dog now. It's like, let me lick your face, and then simultaneously like try and eat it off.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm like, oh, get out of here. So funny. But we do need unity. We need unity. And like this community is like we're so good at like getting behind things, and I always say that this community lifts each other up, and we absolutely need to do that. But like we have to be like screaming the same message, because nobody is going to hear it unless we do. And the problem with Parkinson's is that there's only such a small percentage of us living with YOPD, you know, and we're speaking for you know the other 90%, and more than 90%. And if we're going to do that, like our voices have to be really loud. Anybody who's going to do that, your voices have to be really loud, and we can't just be going around all fractured. I mean, we can, yes, we can, but it's not really going to do anything. So, like this year, I'm looking forward to seeing like more like collaborations and different organizations getting together, because you know everyone has their own agenda, and none of that means anything to me as a person with Parkinson's, because y'all are not doing anything. So let's just kind of like have some progress. Because I'm looking forward to having a cheeseburger, and there better be a cheeseburger in my future from this DBS, or I'll probably just keep going and try to figure something else out. But there better be a cheeseburger. Those are my two things: unity and a cheeseburger, or something vaguely resembling that, because I'm hungry. Both things, a cure and food.
Well, Mark,
Sounds like that Steve Martin skit on Saturday Night Live. If I could have one thing for Christmas, it would be all the children of the world coming together in peace and harmony.
Well,
If I could have another thing, I would have stocks and bonds, and then I would have all the, you know, so funny. Steve Martin.
like, you know, well, I'm 6 months behind you, so I'll be 50 in June. But like, I also feel like that lady from Saturday Night Live is like, I'm 50. Like, I'm just saying, I'm like, oh god, and I can kick.
That's too funny.
I literally called up like one of my doctor's offices that it was like, actually no, it was like a radiology company that's been trying to screw me with this bill, and was like, can I talk to your manager? And then they were like, well, she's like, well, I am the director. I'm like, you have a boss. Let me talk to your boss. Like, I'm morphing into that middle-aged Karen, and I am totally embracing it. Like, I want to talk to the person in charge of the person in charge. Like, I do not care. And the beauty of the internet is I can find your email and your phone number, and I can escalate like nobody's business. So do not try me. You cannot hide.
You know where you grocery shop? What kind of stuff be outside your car? No problem.
I will put you on blast on every social media platform. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's what I got a couple of years ago. That's how I got my insurance company to authorize my medication. Is I shamed them on social media, and like within 45 minutes they called me on the phone and they were like, what can we do for you, and how long before you take your post down? I was like, okay, yes, and also never, but I have a lot of requests, and we're gonna get this like right now, because I'm freaking out. And every time you give me customer service, they're telling me that, you know, the generic name for my medication is testosterone, which was actually true. So like, before I start growing a beard, you guys need to help. What is
Mark, to Mark to wrap up, and take it away, Mark.
Well, I'm going to echo the same thing maybe in a different slant, but I posted something that was profound for me when I was at the Center's Leadership Conference. Dr. Oken said that, you know, he made a quote that, you know, we as a movement basically need to stop thinking of ourselves as individuals and think of ourselves collectively as a movement. And as Esther just said, there's you know, you go farther when everybody's together, you know, when you've got a company. And you know, I took a big hard look at that, and I realized, you know, I number one need to collaborate more. Number two, I need to be a lot more humble. There are some tremendous voices for Parkinson's out there now. And, you know, when I first started doing this advocacy stuff online, you know, Mel, you were doing your stuff, and I was doing some stuff, and there wasn't a lot of people out there. There's a lot more now, and there's some really good voices that are out there. And the thing is, it doesn't matter who's delivering the message needs to get out there. And I had a really good conversation with Esther about this kind of topic. And as always, I'm learning something all the time from Esther. I'm learning something all the time from all three of you. But just taking away that collaboration, working together, focusing on the common goal. And frankly, I need to take a backseat from a humility standpoint and just focus on what's important as opposed to, Mark's followers, Mark's likes, whatever. There is a big message to get out there, and there's a lot of voices to do it, but we need it unified, as you guys were saying. And I just love the momentum. I love where we're going, but we're not there yet. And Esther, we need Karens. We need people with the courage and the guts to get out there and speak boldly, which is what you do. And Melissa, the one that you talk so succinctly and so distinctly with your heart and your voice, just pounding and getting it out there. And George, there's no one, or excuse me, Santa, there's no one more tireless and more what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word for somebody that's a bulldog?
Tenacious.
Tenacious. There you go. There's nobody more tenacious than you, George. And I thank God for all three of you, not just being my friends, but being in the community, because all three of you are doing things that need to be done in your own styles and your own ways. And it's beautiful to watch. And I just love it. And so for 2025 and beyond, again, my mentality is this is a movement. This is a Parkinson's looks like me movement, if I can paraphrase that, quote that, because it is a collectivity of voices that's going to get change. It's not just one of us; it's all of us that's going to get change. And God, I love you all, and I love the people that are in the community that are just now finding their voice and starting to fledge to spread their wings and fly. And I love seeing that, because it's going to bring strength and awareness for all of us. So great stuff, and I'm just happy to be in the midst of you guys, and also happy to be in the community. But guys, you guys are wonderful. I thank God for each one of you, and I'm so glad to end 2024 with you guys, and I look forward to 2025 again, seeing each one of you stretching your wings even more. More books, more speaking gigs, all that stuff. It's going to be wonderful. So thank you guys for what you do, and have a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone. And also, thank you, everyone, for listening. Without you all, this wouldn't be possible. But I do want to thank Melissa, Esther, Mark, and their families for letting me bring them into this world and just having a conversation. I always think of this show when my beer's not on, is us just kind of sitting at a Starbucks, even though I don't drink coffee, or at a bar, even though I don't drink alcohol. But all of us just being together and talking like we would. And it's literally, you three are my family, and all of you listening are also part of us all. And like everyone here today said, going into the next year, got to continue to be together in this. It's not just together for Sharon. I learned after 2 years, I was shocked. I realized there were about 1 million people, I think a lot more in the US. But then when I found out there were 10 million around the world, I realized it wasn't just about my mother and I anymore. Have to be a family in this fight. I always say must, because really we have no choice. I think we'll end this thing much quicker if we all do come together. And I do,
Yeah.
I almost plead that everyone share this, because it's not about likes and things. I just think if we could reach one person today who might not have even heard of Santa George or Melissa or Mark in the park or shaking in my boots, now you have, and you can really change the world. And hopefully someday the media will see this, and you never know, maybe the four of us will be on a show talking about what we're doing and why, because it's the most important thing, and it's for all of you too. Again, it's just an honor to be with the three of you again, even to wrap up this year, and hope the show, even if it's just an episode or two a year, continues, because I think we need this kind of show out there. There's nothing like it. There's nothing that brings people with Parkinson's and caregivers together that I've seen. And there's nothing that just can make everyone smile for just a little time. So hopefully you're all smiling, even if it's at my own expense. I appreciate it. And that's really it from Santa George, Mark in the Park, shaking in reboots, Esther, and it's Mel. Mel, please pick up everyone's book. I hope someday, you never know, could be one from the four of us, and that would be beautiful, just to say we're all co-authors and just to get awareness out. And again, and I'll miss you all, but it'll only be for 2 days because 2020 coming right around the door, and we'll be right back at it. And again, sending out love to all of you, your families, and everyone listening. This has been another episode of Unscripted, where we bring people with Parkinson's and caregivers together, all for one purpose, and it's always going to be Parkinson's disease awareness and hope for a cure. Sending our love and thanks, everyone. Remember, ho ho ho! It's not a Christmas, but happy Hanukkah, happy everything, and the most important thing is have a safe and beautiful New Year. We'll see you in 2025.